this is my project that I made. It's a magazine about decision making and the different factors in your brain and how it makes you more likely to make certain decisions versus your peers.
Okay, so how does that work?
So in your brain, you have your prefrontal cortex and your amygdala, and it's not finished. It starts developing at its peak from 15 to 25, and that's when you start making your most important decisions. Really, is when you turn 15. That's really when you start making a lot of decisions that could impact your life, or in a negative way or a positive way. A lot of things start to come into play. You go to high school, you can start making either risky decisions or positive decisions for yourself. So I just wanted to do a project focused on that. I really had a lot of fun doing this project and learning about the different parts of the brain and decision making and all those factors. So I honestly think I might want to do a psychology degree or major. I think that might be where I want to go.
So we did a topic called derealization, which is a type of anxiety, almost like a panic attack. So behind us, you can see this simulation room. It shows you what derealization feels like and how it feels as a teen getting through these mental blocks. And we also have worksheets in there to show how teenagers have to get around that when they're feeling all these blurriness in their eyes, the ringing, all these different elements to show how they do it in school and their everyday life. And then we also have a video.
And the video can teach people about all the treatments and the causes and the symptoms for derealization so that it can go along with what they just experienced in the room.
Okay, so you don't go in there and have a panic attack.
No, it does feel like you are being like dizzy and ringing. There's different audios going, there's scents in there, there's different visuals on the walls, there's mirrors, there's different types of elements that make you feel like you are, but you're not actually having one.
So it's just kind of like a little overload.
Yes, it's supposed to give you like a really intense feeling.
How do you avoid getting a panic attack?
There's something called psychotherapy, which is one of the ways. There's different ways of therapy that you can do to treat these things. Most of these types of like panic attacks are mental, so you have to get around these mental blocks in order to prevent these from happening and prevent them from making it hard to do schoolwork and work, different things in life.
How did you guys get into this?
So we feel as derealization is a very common topic that many teens have, but they mistaken for anxiety or panic attacks. So we wanted to show people how it's different from anxiety, because about 50% of teenagers in high school have it and they don't realize. So we just wanted to bring awareness to show people what it was.
Because it's a very uncommon type of mental illness that we feel like people should be aware of.
So what's your project?
So our project, we were trying to make fishing for bass on a boat more accessible by creating a budget John boat transformed into a bass boat, as well as having a how-to video, which I can play right now, which pretty much just goes step by step on the whole process, how to use every tool, all the materials, just a full rundown, how to do this yourself. It's on the water from a drone.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What are the tools you have here?
All right, so this is, couldn't grab all the tools, but these are the main tools we use. This is drill was used for just, I guess, screwing everything, like screwing the whole support system to the deck, as well as the hinges into the deck. And this is the jigsaw, which we cut pretty much everything with. We cut out the shape of the deck. We cut our supports down to the right size, cut the hole for the hatch open. And the only other tools we're missing are the staple gun, which we attached the rug to the deck, and the electric sander that we just smooth the edges off with.
So what makes this boat better than just a regular boat?
Here, if you want to come down,
Sure.
we can show you. The first noticeable thing that makes this better is the price. $60 for all the wood, $200 on Facebook Marketplace for the boat. So $260 combined for this. If you're looking at a new bass boat, that's about like 11 to 15 grand. That's out the drain now. You can make 20 of these for that. And I think the really cool thing is just like how professional it actually turned out. This is our storage hatch, which you could pretty much put anything you want, a cooler, anything down there. And this turned out really good. It's super strong. You can stand on this, won't cave in, and the deck itself is only about 20 pounds, so it doesn't really weigh down the boat that much.
Now I'm guessing the material is like water resistant.
Yeah, so it's outdoor carpeting. We were able to pick it up just at Home Depot. And yeah, we cut it to shape and wrapped it around, used a staple gun to get it nice and flush with the plywood. It worked perfectly.
It looks very well crafted.
Thank you.
That engine or the motor looks very nice too. Interesting too. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's a trolling motor, and we're able just to hook it up to any battery, and I think it's like a 26-volt battery. Sits right down there in the bottom of the boat, and we can sit around 10 miles an hour. And yeah, we can get us from point A to point B and keep us around the parts we want to fish.
So you guys must love bass fishing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, it's very open-ended. They begin with thinking about a problem that they want to investigate, essentially, and it's a problem that they either want to learn more about and understand, or that they want to actually help to solve the problem. So as far as the directions go, they can take it in any direction they would like for topics, but then they want to actually do the research and start to vision and plan out what they can create to represent their learning.
Cool.
And they do it through a wide variety of projects.
So I guess there's an approval process.
Absolutely, yes. So when they first come up with their idea for problem solve, what they want to problem solve and try to figure out and investigate, every group of students has a coach and one of the teachers, one of our 4 teachers in the program, and there is a process where they share their ideas, they talk it through, and begin to do initial research.
So does any kids come to you with a project and say, no, that's ridiculous, you can't do that?
Not usually, honestly. I have to say that even if they can figure out how to explain why they're passionate about it, then I'm okay with that, truthfully. Like if that's something that they really want to learn more about and they can find some real authentic research, and they also have to find a person in the field for what they're studying about, and they actually interview them. So they have these real authentic experiences. We call that field work, where all the students are required to do field work and finding out about their topic.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So we created a brand called Bare Bar because it's bare of any ultra-processed ingredients. Our bar is designed for student athletes because of its convenience, and also there are main electrolytes that are essential for athletic progress, like phosphorus, calcium, sodium, and all of that. So here are our ingredients right here.
And it's different from other popular protein bars like Cliff Bar and Quest Bar because they care about the taste and are packed with sugars and protein powders, whereas we wanted to focus on the nutritional value for student athletes who we're targeting, that they can have these before practice or before a game.
Every single one of our ingredients has a benefit for athletic progress for our student athletes, which is on our benefits page of our website.
You have a website.
We have a website. So we actually we have a partnership, mock partnership with Nike to show that our bar actually has real impacts on athletes. And then we also have a marketing plan on our website to show what would actually happen if we continued this outside of school.
Are you girls thinking about going to Babson? Because they do this at Babson too.
I heard, yeah. We learned about that in our research.
Yeah.
All right, well this looks amazing, and I guess you're giving out samples.
Yes, feel free to take one.
All right,
We
thank
have
you so much.
mocha
Thank
chip
you.
and peanut butter chocolate.
All right.
So my project is all about skin cancer awareness and why it's super important to wear your sunscreen. So I have all the most important facts around it, and then I have a picture on the arm and the stomach of when my dad had it. So it's a real picture of it. Yeah.
So that's what got you involved in it.
Yeah, both my parents had it, and then I had a small one on my back recently. So it scared me. And then I learned no matter your skin tone, either way you can get it, same risk. And then obviously genetic wise, both my parents had it, so I'll probably have it, stuff like that.
So What do we do besides putting on sunblock to make us safer?
I mean, honestly, you've got to be out in the sun. It's really good for you. But like, I have a bunch of like the good sunscreens here, so it has to be broad spectrum. So that's UVA and UVB. So UVA, well, UVB is like the initial burn on your skin, and then UVA is like any tanning afterwards. And then it has to be SPF like 50 plus, and then it has to have zinc. And then other than that, you're good. As long as you wear your sunscreen, you're okay.
So my table is about chemicals inside of food and also the detrimental effects that it can have on your health and longevity. So I talk about how to turn away from these chemicals and eat healthier while also being cheap, because people think that eating healthier means spending a lot more money every day. But I kind of debunk that myth, talking a little bit about buying in bulk, which you can buy frozen mangoes, frozen strawberries, or any frozen fruits basically, or vegetables. And you can also buy rice in bulk, buy beans in bulk, and it ends up being a lot cheaper than you think it's gonna be. And it ends up being like preparing your own food ends up being a lot healthier for you.
Is frozen food just as good as unfrozen food?
I think these frozen foods can be even more delicious than stuff you buy at like a fast food place. Like if you go out and buy a smoothie at a fast food place, I think the one you make is going to be a lot more healthy for you. Do you want to try one I have right here?
Sure.
You can give your opinion on camera. So I have little samples right here. They've kind of lost their color because they don't have the food dyes that regular corporations would use. Like Whole Foods, I think they sell some smoothies that people think, like, I think Naked's a really popular smoothie brand, but things like that use like red dyes inside of them to make them look a lot more appealing to consumers.
Not really
compared to like, so what's up?
Not really naked then.
Yeah. So these making your own food ends up being a lot better for you. I also have a cookbook recommendation. I talk about the Blue Zone, which is a zone around the Mediterranean. I think the countries include Turkey, Israel, Greece, and Italy, and I talk about how people end up living a lot longer there and avoiding unhealthy issues with their health or complications, which include like cancers, tumors, and also can be mental. Dyes can induce anxiety, depression, even lack of focus as well. So I give recipe recommendations inside of here. I have a no meat meatball, which is like a vegetarian take on meat that people consume. And it has chickpeas, and that's one of like traditional meals around the Mediterranean. I'm not sure which country, it might be Greece.
You know, a lot of young men don't know how to cook. Do you know how to cook?
I do know how to cook, yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
How did you get into this?
Well, I went over April break. I went on a trip to Europe, and I felt a lot better, and I was wondering why that is. And I ended up turning to food because I felt less bloated. In my mind, I just felt like I was like running faster. So I saw that they have, like I searched up online, I saw that they have stricter regulations about what they allow inside of their food every single day. Like the EU bans a lot of these unhealthy food dyes. Canada bans these unhealthy food dyes. If you search up on Google Canadian Fruit Loops compared to American Fruit Loops, you'll see theirs are a lot less colorful, and that might even be like, as an American, that might be less appealing to you. But if you look into the health benefits of eating or consuming no real food dyes or unhealthy chemical food dyes, like they use, I think Trader Joe's sells these fake versions of Takis, except they use beetroots instead of red dye 40, and it ends up being scored a lot like higher compared to Takis, yeah.
So my table, I did an art piece on gun violence. So I did a depiction of a memorial in the Alcohol Tobacco Federal Bureau that was taken down by the Trump administration, and it's essentially interactive. So I have a blacklight flashlight, and you can see. So then it also has some deaths on the side of each shooting, and then I put the right to kill in the middle. Because the reasoning for it was that it conflicted with the right to bear arms. And then this side, I have all the names of all the victims that were on the memorial, and I have it in black light because I think by taking down the memorial of victims, we're kind of forgetting about their names and putting it like aside in the dark. And then I have don't forget their names as well.
Who's that guy?
That is Robert Lee. He was a victim on the memorial, and his family spoke out a lot about the memorial being taken down, and then he also died very innocently by gun violence, so I decided to focus on him in my research.
What got you into this project?
I haven't learned that much about gun violence, and I think it's a topic a lot of people choose to not talk about all the time. So I wanted to personally learn about it and then see how I can make like a personal impact with my art.
And my project is the Ukrainian refugee crisis, when Ukrainians are having a hard time coming to the United States. Once getting here, getting the support system that is needed to thrive in the United States. So my first question is, what do you think the date of this document is?
Hard to tell.
So this is my grandparents' document from 1948. My great-grandma, my great-grandpa met in a displacement persons camp after the Holocaust and came to the United States, and through the supports of the United States in different organizations in Connecticut, they were able to thrive and allow me to be me today. And so they came here, and so my focus is the Ukrainian refugee crisis, because right now the United States is not supporting Ukrainian refugees as much as they could. So this is the reality canvas and what's happening when coming to the United States. And this is the ideal of what should happen. And you can open, and through here you can see our world that we should have. We should have equal opportunity. We should have affordable housing. We should have the education equal across the whole board, with many visuals, translators, different languages in the classroom everywhere. The support systems should be well funded, allowing them to support the Ukrainian refugees, because they could be well supported, but unfortunately because of the current situations of our government, they're not well funded enough. And they can also, through also government funds, there should be transportation that allows everybody to get everywhere they need. So over here we have, outside is the emotions and everything in the United States, that after coming here there's so much trauma happening in the United States, and over here is the house and the foundation of what's happening, because when coming to the United States, anybody seeks a house as the foundation when coming here. But within the house, it's faded and there's nothing, because the system is broken and it's not there. Within the house, there's different supports that are not funded and broken, and here it's all spread out because nothing is clear, nothing is there. And on the bottom, it's the fallen doors of the support, because there is nothing and it will not hold, because the United States was not mobilized to take Ukrainian refugees. But this is what it should be. No matter what, there's going to be some emotion and there's going to be some issues, but it could be better than what it is today.
Okay, we're going to wrap up the night, so turn your focus over here. Okay, unfortunately the night is coming to a close, and we would like to give thanks to all the parents, guardians, friends, and community members for showing up and giving us your support tonight.
It feels great to display the projects we have been working very hard on, and on behalf of my classmates, we really appreciate you taking the time to see our work.
We hope that you all have learned something new tonight, as well as gained a better understanding of what Evolution's program is all about. I'd also like to shout out the Evolution's teachers for all of their support and guidance. Have a great rest of your night.
All right.